If you're interested in astrology, but you're wondering how you can learn to work with it, just consider this. So you've probably looked into astrology and that you've probably seen so many people telling you this and telling you that about your life. A lot of it probably looks like it's true, and it might be very surprising. But one way you can consider it, if you're allowing astrology to really be a big part of your life, is this. Imagine you're sitting in a room with a bunch of other people. In that room, you have your mother, your father, your friends, strangers, ex-partners, everything. And each person has their own mood and has their own flow that they're moving through that room on. Now, based on the mood they're in and the way they're moving, it can affect you. Depending on your relationship to that person, it will affect you more or less. But if you can learn to just look at every person in that room with joyousness and detachment, then it doesn't matter what's happening to them. You can just act joyously and naturally how you wish. You'll take into account how everyone's feeling, and that will alter the way you act, but it won't determine your future because you're still going to do what you need to do, but you're just learning to do it in a way that complements everyone else's mood. So say, for example, someone else in that room beside you is very angry. They're very angry. And you notice they're angry. When you look at them, you even kind of get angry. But you learn to look at them, take a deep breath, rest in your joyousness, detach yourself from them, and move forward. You know that you don't want to get too close to them, you don't want to step on their toes, you don't want to ask them too many questions, you just simply avoid too much contact with them, but you move accordingly. Then you see someone else, they're incredibly sad, and they're crying, and they're going through grief, and you look at them and you want to cry. You say, oh, that's incredibly sad. And so, you take a deep breath, you get back into your joyousness, and then you approach them and move around them cautiously as to not upset them or hurt them or get involved yourself. You might help them by talking to them, whatever. But you learn to move according to their moods. So in the same way, the planets are going through what they're going through. This entire universe is going through its own flux. If you can remain at ease, if you can remain at peace, then no matter what everyone else or everything else or all the planets are going through, then you're still going to move in the direction you need to move for your highest good, in a place of joy and ease. No matter what the planets say, no matter what your chart, astrological chart says, you can move with ease and joy. And this goes far beyond astrology. This goes in general life. Like, as the world continues to become whatever it's going to become with human actions, the more joyous you are and the more at ease you are, the easier it will be for you to move and navigate those situations and move towards the direction you want to move in, no matter what the people around you are doing. So astrology is kind of like a larger version of that. And that's just one way that we can begin to look at astrology to just make it more of a pleasant experience. Because I know many people will look at their, daily horoscope and determine the rest of their day by it. Or they'll look at their weekly horoscope or monthly or yearly and determine, okay, my horoscope says it's going to be a tough year, better buckle up. Okay, this year it says I shouldn't go traveling, I won't go traveling. Canceling all my plans. There are people who really can take it that deeply and everything in between. So if you find that astrology has some pull on your life and you're just interested to know more about it, consider it like that before you dive into it. Or if you've already dived into it, consider that it is like you sitting in a room with a bunch of influential people around you. Depending on their moods, it will influence you. But if you can remain joyous no matter their moods, it doesn't really matter what they're going through. You're able to navigate how you wish. I've already made a video on this saying the exact same thing, but this is just more concise or more clear, I think, and just a better description. It's not so rushed. So again, if you're interested in astrology, if you're diving into it, consider that, and maybe you'll notice that it doesn't have such a pull on your life, but it's just more of an interesting topic to look into.